John setting fashion standards.
She's a 10-footer.
Right, go for it. See what we get. Yeah, it is moving, ever so slightly. Yeah, that's opening up, isn't it?
Horrible feeling that's going to foul on that. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think that sit on there without it though.
Oh, you're close.
It ain't going to go on there.
No, you need
I need that spacer. So, like you said, I think we're going to have to modify it.
Slight modification just here. Mike just cut a slit so it cleared this little bit here. And a nice new air filter. Fits like a glove, that. And you've got, I assume, a nice polished, nice polished top for it. So what was the one you had on before? I can't remember. That was the same, wasn't it? Similar,
Yeah.
just polished.
Yeah, like when I was on there before, I got off a Nando.
Because didn't loads of people, they usually put what are they called? The big brand.
Oh, Moroso.
Yeah, and all that lot, and they normally put that on there. So I assume this bit has to be trimmed to your desired length.
Yes.
Just leave it like that, mate, it's fine. That's fine, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Just leave it like that. It's exact.
Shut the bonnet.
That's exactly. It's right, we'll drill a hole.
A hole in the bonnet, yeah. I've got a marker pen in the back. Somewhere.
Look at that, gives you perfect amount. Bang on.
I would say job's a good one.
I think that's a great job. She's always been a tidy engine, hasn't she? And what engine size is this? What engine is it? I don't know a lot about Americans.
390 cubic inch, 6.5 litre in Old English.
Yeah.
I believe the engine and gearbox is from a 1964 Ford Thunderbird. It is what they call the FE engine, so Ford Edsel. It's in a Ford Edsel.
Makes sense, yeah.
It's a good strong engine. It's the same engine as what Steve McQueen had in his Bullet Mustang.
And I assume this isn't the original engine from 1968. This isn't factory.
What engine this would have had in it from new, it probably was a V8, but what it was, I don't know.
Small block?
It would be the small block, yeah.
Is this classed as a small block, or is this big block?
Big block?
That's big block, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And this is a 1968, isn't it?
58.
Sorry, 1958. And is that a 1 year only, wasn't it?
58, yeah, then they changed the design on 59, until you changed it again on 60.
Okay, and Edsel was Henry Ford's son. And this was his design, wasn't it?
No.
Okay.
He died in 1943 or 44.
What, his son died?
Yeah. His son didn't even see this car go into production.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought this was designed by Edsel.
No. He didn't see the car go into production.
Oh, okay.
Only named after him.
It's a hell of a looking thing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is beautiful. And recently, Mike has done this himself, believe it or not, and he's not a painter, he's a welder, but took it to work, and he bought the paint and literally sprayed it himself, and all these. Now the paint isn't absolutely A1, it's not immaculate, but it was painted before Mike bought it, but these were left in the same body colour, so these were white, and the roof was red, but almost painted in like it was like a plasticky paint, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was awful. So yeah, he stripped it all back. There's still more.
David Brown red, white, I call it.
That's it. Still got to put some chrome back on it.
Which is on the floor.
Which is, yeah, down there. There's a lot of chrome. These he managed to find because these were missing. So these are the original letters for the car, and they're pressed into the panel. Beauty rings as well. So he repainted the wheels and bought these beauty rings, which, to be fair, in my opinion, really are a great detail. And some good tyres, because the tyres, if I remember rightly, the tyres that you had on it when you bought it, were they radials?
No, they were crossbody.
That was it, crossbodies. And I remember when I was behind you following you once, trying to keep a straight line was just a challenge, wasn't it? So yeah, these are nice Michelins.
Yeah, you should have tried driving it with them.
Yeah. I mean, they're a boat as it is anyway. There's your old carburettor there. And this size carburettor is what, Mike?
750.
So this was a 750, which, as far as you're aware, is probably a little bit too big for the engine. Was that right? Hence why you've swapped it.
Nothing else performance-wise done to the engine.
Right.
If it had cam and other stuff done to it.
So it's stock everything's stock, but it had a larger carb.
Yeah.
So you've put it down to a 600,
yeah,
and you've made it more modern because it's electric. Which is it's a Holly what?
600 CFM. The make of it, they actually call it the Road Warrior.
Right, okay. There's his old air cleaner there, which he said was past its sell-by date. And his interior, new steering wheel. He's had loads of bits painted. But yeah, door cards as well you did, wasn't it?
Door cards,
that was something that Mike did. Like I said, Mike is no interior designer. He is a welder by trade, but he painted this himself. He's a bit like me. He's not afraid of...
Not afraid to give it a go.
Well, no, because that's the sort of enjoyment you get. You know, you try and do as much as you can, and if it goes wrong, then you know someone that can fix it. But unfortunately, then that's when it costs money. But yeah, I was just a bit lucky that I was down the farm when Mike's down here, fitting some bits and pieces to it. So I thought I'd show you guys, because to be fair, it's a bit different for the channel. Mike is a huge American car fan. He's had many. And this is his latest project, so I'm sure that I'll do a bit more on this if and when Mike does more to it. But yeah, that's it. Okay, so back to my unit after helping Mike. That was a bit random. So yeah, I got a few bits and pieces that I'm getting on with on the 86. I got some new headlight surrounds or bezels that I managed to purchase from a lovely guy in America. And it turned up in like 2 days. It was amazing. But yeah, mine were cracked in certain places. And I kind of want the car to be as clean as it can be in all aspects. And they're relatively hard, I think, to come by, especially without being damaged. So yeah, I picked those up. So I'll fit those. And also I've decided I'm going to paint my cooling panel that I made a little while ago. The aluminium effect that I had isn't really working for me. So I'm just going to paint it black, I think. Got some black paint here, so it's not going to cost me anything. So yeah, I'll get on with that. I'll fit all these bits and pieces, and yeah, we'll see how it looks. Okay, so this is my cooling panel. I've already removed it and put some primer down. I'm just going to go over some gloss black, lacquer it, and then get it back on the car. Just giving it a couple of coats of black spray paint. As I said, I just had some gloss black, so just using that up. What I have decided to do is, you can just about see, I used to have an OEM Plus sticker on here, and I've actually left it on, because what I'd like to do is, once I've sprayed it black, I'm going to peel this sticker off to leave the sort of brushed aluminium effect I once had underneath. And I thought that would be quite a nice little feature. And then I'll blast over it with some lacquer. So whilst that is drying between coats, I'm going to get on and fit these. Actually, let me show you. Let me show you these bezels that I've bought. Okay, so spot the difference. So these are the new ones which I've purchased, and at some point they have been painted, which was a bit sketchy first of all, because I thought, okay, so someone's obviously repaired them if they've cracked, etc., like mine. But Timmy, the chap I purchased them from, assured me, says, I promise you, they are A1. They've never been repaired. They are as should be. And he was right, he wasn't lying. So as you can see, there is no repairs, obvious cracks. Also, which is nice, I have these little tabs, because on these ones, which were always original to the car, they have been snapped off. See, there's one on there, that one missing, which doesn't affect it at all. With the 4 screws to each side to fit it, they would never have come off, but still, it's nice to know that both of these have everything in place. And the same with this one, no damage whatsoever. So yeah, really nice. So this pair here is what was originally on my car, and just a bit of overspray there. They've been sat on the shelf for a little while. But as you can see just there, if the camera can pick it up, I think it's where someone in the past has maybe just over tightened a screw. And yeah, they've had to glue it there. And I think one on this one also. Yeah, just there. So to be fair, it's very minor. But as I said, I'm very passionate about my car. And if I find parts that I know I can afford at the time to replace them for a better condition item, I 100% will go for it. And this is this scenario exactly here. I always knew that they had a few repairs done to them, as much as it might be very, very minor to certain people. But I want to try and make this car as clean as I possibly can with the budget that I have. So yeah, really happy I managed to get hold of them. Thank you once again to Timmy. Really, really appreciate that. And the service was incredible. As said previously, I think it literally took 2 days from the day he shipped them out to me to receive them here in the UK. So incredible. I've had to wait longer for items that have been sent from the UK. So yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll now fit these. And yeah, and I'll get back to putting a bit more paint on this, and then we'll get that fitted. So what's that you just replaced? Or removed, sorry?
Idler pulley for the auxiliary belt.
Squeaky.
There
There you go, there's a bearing in it.
Yeah,
Seal bearing.
but it feels...
But it might be whining because maybe the grease has got so dry that it's now not lubricating it properly.
Yeah, possibly.
That's why you got a new one of these. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, mate. Is that there? Is this genuine? No, it's not genuine BMW, is it?
No.
Well, hopefully, mate, that fixes the issue.
he solves a problem. But we shall find out. It even comes with a little cap to go over it.
Ooh.
Ain't that funky?
By the way, this is John's new purchase. This is a what?
320D M Sport.
Okie dokie. So unfortunately, the Volvo he once had as his daily was costing him a small fortune in diesel. So he's now purchased this and loves it. So
I like the Germans.
I like the Germans, even though that is his baby. Jap over German.
Every day.
Might offend people, but that's what we like. This thing is just sitting here, just as they do mostly, or most of the time. But we've got a few shows coming up. But at the moment, this seems to be the car which needs work. What's it like for space down there?
Fucking loads.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So initially John thought it was the alternator, so he actually spent some money on another and found that the belt was still squealing.
Second hand.
And then he did a bit of research and found that this was the offending article, so fingers crossed there is no whining once it starts back up again. See, I definitely think it's alternator. Okay, so it didn't work with the sticker idea, unfortunately. So I've peeled that off, flattened it back, and just sprayed it. And what I'll do is I will order another sticker just to replace the old one. But yeah, just wait for that to completely dry, then it can go back on the car. And that's the cooling panel done. Just cleans up all the gubbins underneath. So I've got the aircon bits and pieces and the horn, but just makes it nice and clean. This is one I had previously. I did it in the carbon fibre. I was giving it a go with all the epoxy and bits and pieces like this, and it came out alright, to be fair. It's not perfect, it was my first go, but it just wasn't for me. This is available if anybody wants it. It's no good for me anymore. Also, the spark plug valley cover, that's also done in the same carbon fibre. I think they both could just do with a really good polish and they'd come up really well. But yeah, they're available, so write a comment or DM me or whatever if you're interested in them. We'll sort something out. It's the socks that are in shop, mate. John's setting fashion standards.
Still looks shit, but it's better than what it was.
It's good from 10 foot, that's all that matters.
She's a 10-footer.
So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the like button. And I hope to catch you in the next video.